Most people are missing this small detail when it comes to fluke fishing, and it can be costing you fish. When it comes to soft plastics, there's very few baits that I love as much as a Zoom Super Fluke, specifically the one by Zoom, because with small variations in the details and rigging of this bait, we get a lot of variation in our actions, and this becomes a super versatile option throughout the year. When it comes to the colors of my flukes, I keep it pretty simple. 90% of the time, I'm fishing just pearl white. For whatever reason, the bass around me love pearl white. However, I'm fishing super clear water, I go to watermelon seed or baby bass. And kind of in between those two, there's smoke and shad. That's a really nice color. And the key detail people overlook when it comes to a fluke is their hooked selections. A lot of people will talk about using belly weighted hooks. Generally, when it comes to fluke fishing, I will almost never use a belly weighted hook or any kind of weight. I'm going to adjust the sink rate of my fluke with the actual hooks themselves, either using a thicker, heavy gauge hook like this one here, or going to a lighter one. And can you tell the difference in the two ways I've rigged these flukes? When it comes to fishing a fluke, how we rig our hooks into these flukes completely changes our action. So let's start with this, mode A. When you see here, the hook, the bend of our EWG is coming out in the front of this head portion of the fluke here, right? And then the rest of it's just rigged like we normally would. Now, as you can see, the weight of this hook is gonna be pushed forward on this fluke. And if we take a look at this fluke in mode B, where we push that hook all the way through, we're coming through the meat in the back of the head in that belly slit. We're pushing that hook as far back as we can in the fluke, and the weight will be shifted backwards. And you can really see that difference when I'm holding both of these flukes like this. This is mode A on top, was that hook pushed forward, and mode B on the bottom was the hook pushed back. So what does that mean for our bass fishing? Well, with mode A, that hook pushed forward and the weight forward on this bait, when we work this fluke, this weight is going to be pointing this bait down. So actually it's going to keep the fluke in the water. You're going to get that cutting action, but while staying in the middle of the water column. And especially if you're trying to fish your flukes deeper, having it in mode A lets it fall faster without any extra weight, because it's going to want to fall nose first and become very streamlined down. And then when we go to mode B, where we have that hook pushed into the back of the fluke, now when we start working this fluke, instead of it wanting to dive down, the weight is going to keel it upwards and it's going to want to hop up in the water. But also because the hook is in the middle, this bait is going to want to fall more horizontal this way, and it'll give you a much slower rate of fall. This becomes a great way to fish a fluke in shallow water or when bass are attacking bait fish on the top of the water column. So when it comes to fishing a fluke, understanding the differences between mode A and mode B and matching it to your current fishing situation is how you get more bites on a fluke. And make sure to send this to a friend that didn't know about these differences. So what are you waiting for? Get out there!